Welcome back, and this video will be the completion of my mini Vise build. Now my first step is to build the dynamic jaw that has to go on top, and we need to have a dovetail and cut in the center. Now this block that I'm using here was already squared mostly. I just need to clean up the bandsaw cut, get it square, and then cut my dovetail in the middle. Now if you bought the machine or you're new to the hobby and you're not sure how to work to precise measurements, and you want to tackle a project like this, it's easy to cheat a little bit. First start with the most difficult part of it, and that's, in this case, will be the dovetail. Then once the dovetail is cut and the pieces fits together, then you assemble it on your part, and then you mill everything on the side. So I'll show you through the process so that you can see that if you don't have a DRO like I do, then it is possible to get everything flat and square to each other. I want to apologize for the background noise here. If you can hear it, got a portable aircon running because we're in the middle of the heat wave, and it's quite hot without it. Okay, let's get started. In operations like this, because I've got a sloping edge here, and the cuts are not exactly 100% equal, I don't power feed, I usually feed by hand, and I feel the pressure that I'm applying to the end mill in order to gauge how fast and or how slow I should go in order to preserve the end mill. As you learn to use the machine, you'll get a feel for it and you know exactly how much pressure you can apply in which conditions. If you're wondering why I'm taking spring passes after I'm done, because on any of these small machines you will always have flex on the milling head itself. It tends to lift up as you apply pressure to it, or depending on your end mill, might even pull down. But in my case, it usually lifts up a little bit, so I take a spring pass so it evens out the surface properly. Okay, now the next feature will be the basically a slot for the dovetail. Just gonna make a quick measurement. Can't remember what I've cut it on the bed. Let you know now. Okay, I need to cut it 2.7 millimeters deep. Get up to correct depth. Just a little bit short of final depth here, to give me a chance to do finishing cuts. Okay, this is my setup that I'm using. Slid the dynamic jaw into place and then locked it with a G-clamp. Now what I'm going to do is, as you can see, it's a bit oversized. I'm going to just back it off until I just skim the surface of the fixed jaw. And then I know every time that these jaws are meeting, they will be 100% flush. Okay, I've turned it on its side. That's basically rinse and repeat, but this I'll do off camera. Okay, I'm gonna cut the chamfer here in the back end of the dynamic jaw. And then after that I'm gonna cut the chamfer on the fixed jaw just to give it a little bit of flare. I'll show the method I've used to get to the angle once I'm done. There is a method to the madness. So that crash was pretty expensive. That's what happens when you've got too much backlash on your lead screws. Anyway, we'll get back to how I worked out this angle. This is where the bolt is supposed to come in an angle to the nearest hole to give it both downward pressure on the jaw and forward pressure. Now in the back, there is supposed to come in a washer that will allow the bolt to pivot a little bit. The pivot angle shouldn't vary too much, because if you move the jaw a little bit backwards, you'll go for the next hole. So you've got a small little bit of movement. Now for that, I'm just gonna make a washer that's got a little bit of a dome in it. It doesn't even need to have a dome, but I'll try and make a dome washer to allow it to move that little bit of amount. Now on this end, there's still the remnants of the crash, but I think that will buff out pretty easily. I'll use a belt grinder for that. Anyway, I'm gonna cut this angle here. It's more aesthetics than anything functional. So I'll still decide which angle I'm gonna use. Maybe a shallow angle or sharp angle, I'm not exactly sure. I'll do a couple of cuts off camera and see how it comes out. Okay, I've beveled the fixture, so it looks now well rounded. And I've also cut in a slot in the front. So let me just put on the light here. As you can see, you can use any one of two holes in order to get the bolt seated, so that you can do your clamping. Now what I'm going to use is an old automotive bolt. It fits nicely into the holes drilled. Now it's 8.8 grade bolt, so hopefully I won't burn any tooling to get this in or break it up. My mini vise is finished, and it is very easy to use. You just need an Allen key to operate it. And the way I've made it is it's got a little dovetail to ensure that the jaw doesn't fall off or go out of alignment. And then you've got your nut. Now you can select any of the 7 holes and to operate it. And as I've shown before, the way it's designed, the slot on the inside, you can basically use 2 different holes to get the nut aligned with the bolt. Anything you must be mindful of is to make sure your nut underneath aligns with your bolt. As you can see, there is enough room for movement here. Let's move it up a little bit more. And what I like about this whole setup is the fact that you don't have jaw lift. Because of this angle, your dynamic jaw gets pulled down. It's quite grippy. Now you can just install it in your normal vise, and you can set your stock at any angle that you wish or need, and you can use the back end or the bottom of this vise for the angle alignment. So you can use one of these gauges underneath it. You can use it either at the bottom, on top, any way you like it, or use angle blocks. Now this gives me the opportunity to cut in V-grooves and pieces of stock, which I otherwise will have difficulty doing in the normal vise, especially small little pieces like this. Because if you want a piece like this, and you just want to cut a V-groove in here, you will effectively only have the tip of the vise, of the part sticking into the vise jaws, and that is not nearly enough. Now this gives me new possibilities. So I hope you found it both interesting and informative, and hopefully it will inspire you to make something similar for yourself as well. It looks complicated, but it's not really. Alright, until next time, enjoy it. Goodbye.